Welcome to Streaming News Network, where we deliver balanced reporting with the facts that matter. The Evening Edition by Claude McDaniel. Please like and subscribe.
This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. A Rhode Island fugitive who spent more than 21 years avoiding capture is now in custody after a coordinated law enforcement operation off the coast of New York. Authorities say Ronald L. Fisher fled Rhode Island in 2005 while on trial for a criminal case. He was later convicted in his absence of first-degree sexual assault and remained one of Rhode Island's most wanted fugitives for more than 2 decades. Investigators recently developed new leads that prompted an intensive 48-hour effort to track Fisher's movements. Working together, law enforcement agencies traced him to a 56-foot sailboat known as the Silver Lining. Officials say the vessel was registered under the alias Richard Graydon, which Fisher allegedly used to conceal his identity. Deputies and United States Coast Guard personnel intercepted the sailboat about 1 hour off the New York coastline. Fisher was taken into custody without incident on a federal warrant for unlawful flight to avoid prosecution. He also remains wanted for failing to appear in court and for the earlier sexual assault conviction. Following the arrest, Fisher was transported to Coast Guard Station Staten Island before being transferred to law enforcement officials. Authorities say the successful operation highlights the long-term commitment of investigators, emphasizing that even after more than 2 decades, justice can still be pursued. This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. Michigan Democratic Senate candidate Abdul El-Sayed is facing renewed criticism after a video from 2020 resurfaced showing him questioning the size of police forces and whether officers need to carry firearms. In the video, recorded during a University of Michigan event, El-Sayed asks whether communities need as many police officers and whether guns are necessary for law enforcement. During his current Senate campaign, however, he has stated that he does not support defunding the police. The renewed attention intensified after Jordan Domingue, a former Marine who served as El-Sayed's security director, publicly criticized the candidate. Domingue says he provided armed protection for El-Sayed over a period of 2 years, often working long shifts several days each week. He accused the candidate of inconsistency, pointing to his reliance on armed security while questioning the role of armed policing. According to Domingue's previous statements, he resigned from the campaign after concluding that El-Sayed was not suited for the office he was seeking. Public records also indicate Domingue provided security during El-Sayed's earlier campaign for Michigan governor, when the candidate reported receiving death threats. The controversy comes as El-Sayed campaigns in a 3-way Democratic primary scheduled for August 4, with recent public statements on international issues also drawing political attention. This is Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network. Caitlin Clark delivered a historic performance Friday night, leading the Indiana Fever to a 110-107 victory over the Seattle Storm while rewriting the Women's National Basketball Association record book. Clark scored a career-high 45 points and added 10 assists, becoming the first player in league history to record at least 40 points and 10 assists in a single game. She also set a new Indiana Fever franchise record for points scored in one game. Her all-around performance included 4 steals and 2 blocked shots while shooting more than 60% from the field. Clark also became the fastest player in Women's National Basketball Association history to reach 200 career 3-point baskets, accomplishing the milestone in just 74 games. With less than 1 minute remaining and the score tied, Clark came up with a key defensive block before racing down the court to hit a clutch 3-point shot that gave Indiana the lead. She then sealed the victory by making 4 consecutive free throws in the closing seconds. Kelsey Mitchell added 30 points for the Fever, who improved their record to 15 wins and 10 losses despite playing without All-Star Aaliyah Boston because of a leg injury. Clark's remarkable night further strengthens her growing reputation as one of the league's brightest stars and keeps Indiana firmly in the playoff race. This is Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network. Former daytime television host Wendy Williams is marking her 62nd birthday while continuing a legal effort to end the court-appointed guardianship that has overseen her personal and financial affairs since 2023. In a recent interview, Williams described her daily life inside a New York assisted living facility, saying her movements are closely monitored and that she lives on a secured floor with limited independence. She said security accompanies her during outings, including weekly church services, and explained that many aspects of her daily routine have changed dramatically from the years when she hosted her nationally televised talk show. Williams also spoke about adjusting to life away from the spotlight, saying many of her personal belongings remain in storage and that she now spends much of her time keeping notes and maintaining a simple weekly routine that includes visits to the gym twice a week. The former television personality continues to challenge the guardianship in court, maintaining that she is mentally capable of making her own decisions and managing her affairs. Her court-appointed guardian, however, has argued that the current level of care remains necessary following Williams' diagnoses of primary progressive aphasia and frontotemporal dementia. The legal proceedings remain ongoing as Williams continues seeking greater independence while receiving care. This is Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network. A computer-generated simulation of a controversial rollercoaster concept designed to be fatal has gone viral, renewing public discussion about assisted dying, ethics, and conceptual design. The so-called euthanasia rollercoaster was created in 2010 by Lithuanian designer Julie Jonas Urbonas as a conceptual art project while pursuing doctoral studies in London. The design has never been built and was intended to encourage debate about mortality and the ethics surrounding assisted dying. The viral animation illustrates how the proposed ride would operate. Riders would slowly climb to a height of more than 500 feet before reaching a final decision point. Those choosing to continue would activate the ride themselves. The design then calls for a steep descent followed by a series of increasingly smaller loops intended to expose riders to sustained extreme gravitational forces. According to the concept, those forces would reduce blood flow to the brain, causing loss of vision, unconsciousness, and ultimately death. The renewed attention has also revived discussion of other assisted dying concepts, including devices designed to allow individuals to end their lives under legal and regulated circumstances in countries where such practices are permitted. Although the rollercoaster remains purely theoretical, it continues to generate worldwide interest as an artistic concept that challenges viewers to consider questions surrounding technology, human dignity, and end-of-life decisions. This is Claude McDaniel of Streaming News Network. A Missouri man is facing serious criminal charges after authorities say he abandoned his infant child in the middle of a St. Louis roadway before later leading police on a dangerous vehicle pursuit. Investigators say 36-year-old Christopher Sean Pearson allegedly left the infant, still secured in a child safety seat, in an active traffic lane. Witnesses reported seeing the child carrier placed in the roadway before a passing motorist realized a baby was inside and moved the infant to safety. According to investigators, shortly after the incident Pearson allegedly told the child's mother that he had left the baby outside a police station, a statement authorities say was false. Police later identified Pearson driving a vehicle matching witness descriptions. Officers attempted a traffic stop, but investigators say he sped away, ignored traffic signals, and nearly collided with other vehicles during the pursuit. Authorities say the chase ended after Pearson drove through two fences before stopping. Investigators also allege he threw a handgun from the vehicle while attempting to escape. Officers later recovered additional firearms from the vehicle. Pearson has been charged with first-degree child endangerment and resisting arrest by fleeing in a manner that created a substantial risk of serious injury or death. A judge has ordered him held without bond, citing concerns that he could fail to appear in court and may pose a danger to the community. This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. South Africa is experiencing renewed tensions over immigration as anti-immigrant demonstrations continue in several communities. According to reports, some protest groups have gone door to door in search of undocumented migrants, urging authorities to deport those they believe are living in the country illegally. The incidents have raised concerns about vigilantism and public safety as law enforcement monitors the situation. South Africa has long attracted migrants from neighboring countries because it has one of the largest economies in sub-Saharan Africa. However, high unemployment, persistent crime, and economic inequality have fueled frustration among some residents, with immigrants often becoming the focus of public anger. Analysts say the country has struggled for years with balancing immigration enforcement, border security, and the protection of human rights. At the same time, community organizations and government officials have repeatedly condemned mob actions, emphasizing that immigration enforcement is the responsibility of law enforcement authorities, not private citizens. The recent demonstrations have also renewed discussion about immigration policies in other countries, with some commentators drawing comparisons to border enforcement debates elsewhere. Those comparisons remain the subject of political disagreement, reflecting differing views on immigration policy and the appropriate role of government in enforcing existing laws. Officials continue to urge residents to report suspected violations through legal channels and to avoid taking enforcement into their own hands. This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. The hosts of the daytime television program The View are defending Kim Kardashian following criticism over her 13-year-old daughter, Northwest, who recently revealed she has piercings on the back of her hands. During Wednesday's broadcast, moderator Whoopi Goldberg questioned why members of the public were criticizing Kardashian's parenting decisions, arguing that such choices are matters for parents and their children rather than public debate. The panel discussed how many teenagers seek piercings regardless of parental approval, while co-host Alyssa Farah Griffin said she believed piercings are different from tattoos, suggesting permanent body art should wait until adulthood. Sunny Hostin emphasized that Northwest has spent her entire life in the public spotlight and urged viewers to show greater compassion, noting the pressures that come with growing up as the child of internationally known celebrities. Sarah Haynes echoed those concerns, saying that having two famous parents can make childhood especially challenging. The panel concluded by encouraging the public to give celebrity children more privacy and allow families to handle personal decisions without constant public scrutiny. Northwest is the eldest child of Kim Kardashian and recording artist Ye, formerly known as Kanye West. The former couple divorced in 2022 and share 4 children. This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani says his administration is reviewing whether the city has the legal authority to detain Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu if he travels to New York for the United Nations General Assembly this September. In a recent interview, Mamdani said he believes Netanyahu should face proceedings before the International Criminal Court, which has issued an arrest warrant related to allegations connected to the war in Gaza. Israel disputes the allegations and does not recognize the court's jurisdiction. The mayor said he is consulting with New York City's law department to determine whether municipal authorities have any legal authority to act against a visiting foreign head of government. Mamdani emphasized that any action would have to comply with existing law and that the city would not exceed its legal authority. Prime Minister Netanyahu dismissed the comments, saying he was not concerned by the possibility of arrest. He also criticized Mamdani's views on Israel and accused the mayor of siding with groups hostile to Israel. Mamdani has repeatedly condemned the October 7, 2023 Hamas attack on Israel while remaining an outspoken critic of Israel's military campaign in Gaza. The remarks come as the mayor continues to face national attention over his positions on the Middle East, immigration, policing, and other major policy issues.
Thank you for listening to Streaming News Network videos and our audio reports. Please like and subscribe to our news channel.